So you would be forgiven at this point if you thought, man, Dave, this all sounds completely overwhelming. Whatever learning experience it is that I'm designing, I can't possibly do all of this stuff. Particularly when I layer on all the other job duties and all the other stuff that's going on in the library already. It's just too much. The good news here is that you don't have to do it all at once. There's a method sort of baked into universal design for learning thinking, and that's what we call +1 thinking. It's looking at the various interactions and touch points in your learning experience and saying, where can I add just one more means of engagement? Where can I add just one more means of representation? Where can I add just one more means of action and expression? So rather than trying to do everything at once, you're doing it piece by piece, sort of step by step. One way of looking at this and thinking about where you might want to add these areas, these +1 elements, is by looking at pain points in your already constructed learning experiences. If you have things where do people or learners seem to ask the most questions? Where do they struggle with a particular assignment or a particular concept? Where are evaluations maybe not up to snuff? Sort of identifying these pain points can help give you a good lens of looking at where it might be helpful to apply some +1 thinking, either showing the content in a different way or helping learners stay more engaged with it or giving them different ways of showing mastery. And this +1 thinking, because it's +1, isn't done all at once, right? It's refined and developed over time. So you identify some pain points and you apply some +1 thinking, you add some things, and then you let your learning experience run for a while. And then you discover, hey, maybe those things are fixed, or maybe they didn't work so well, but maybe now there's some new pain points, there's some new struggle areas in the course. So you go back and you do the cycle again, you add a couple more bits of +1 thinking. And so over time, you build up a course that's more in line with universal design for learning. Okay, so there was a graphic here that was going to be very helpful, but it looks like my PowerPoint slide seems to have eaten it a little bit. But I can send you this later and I can bring a copy to our meeting when we talk about some of this stuff. But this is just sort of like a Chinese menu, basically, of how to apply universal design tools and strategies within your learning experience. So you mix and match things. And what this actually looks like, if you could see it, is each of these have like a number of points and then what the actual strategy is and how long it should take you to accomplish. And so you just pick some things from each menu and say, hey, I'm going to spend some time doing these 2 things from representation, this 1 or 2 things from mastery, and then these 1 or 2 things from student engagement, and just sort of mix and match those things with what works with you and what works with your learning experience, and then use those to build up a more universal experience over time. So yeah, that's what I've got. Hopefully that was helpful and useful information.